Well, author Dorsey Nunn spent time in prison at just 19 years old. Now he's a renowned criminal justice reform leader and civil rights leader who has a new memoir, What Kind of Bird Can't Fly? And he joins us with more, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. You were sentenced to life in prison, but you were released early. But you were at San Quentin. I mean, you were at, you weren't at some little federal camp. You were at a tough prison, and you made it out, and you were sharing your story. And I want to ask you first, why was it so important for you to share the story?
Because I think that it can be beneficial to not only people in prison, but beneficial to society overall. I think that I got something to say, so it's not just me being 19. I dedicated my life following the 11 years to actually fighting for the full restoration of civil and human rights. You know, at certain points, I think that I didn't serve the interest in a real way. You know, so it's like some of the things I got a chance to do in this lifetime is help people from stop shackling pregnant women. You know, I stopped long-term solitary confinement where people were being locked up in the hole for 30 years at a time. And I helped secure the right to vote for like hundreds of thousands of people in the state of California and millions of people across the United States. I probably helped re-enfranchise more people than had been re-enfranchised since the 1965 Voting Rights Act.
Wow. Now, so often people go to prison and there's that high rate of recidivism. You made it out and made a difference. What was so different about you?
Probably the commitment. The people who taught me how to read when I was in prison was revolutionaries. And they made me make a promise that I'd get out to the community and be returned as an asset instead of a liability. That right there took me in the direction that I was going. I once went down to Cuba and met Asada, and Asada told me something, that the revolution did more for her than she did with the revolution. At the back end of my life, I also think that the movement helped me more than I helped the movement, regardless of what my accomplishments are. You know, like people chimed in and they kicked in. Like Gordon Philanthropies. The first purchase of the books was from Gordon Philanthropy, and they allowed me to give other people books so they could learn how to read, and so they can actually read something that was of substance, of substance. You know, I don't think I'm being charged for doing the event at the last bookstore on Sunday at 2 o'clock. You know, so somebody has helped me along. And every once in a while, I be thinking about maybe it's divine intervention. Because, like, you know, I can't just simply dismiss this as luck. I can dismiss it as luck, but I can't dismiss God that's been in my life probably the whole time.
Yeah, probably. No, definitely. The book is called What Kind of Bird Can't Fly? Tell me about that title.
The reason that I actually think that I think all birds can fly. You know, so you can't lock up 2 million people, nearly 2 million people, and not necessarily throw away people and throw away genius that could be very beneficial to the community. At this point, you know, like I'm just transitioning out being the executive director of a public interest law office. I had 32 employees at that point when I was there. In the last 6 years, I bought a building that cost $2.5 million and was doing that. And I got another program that was in my community called Free at Last. And we implemented that program in order to address the question of the crack epidemic, to address the question of the AIDS pandemic, and to stop the violence in the community. So some of us want to come home and do something not just common, we want to change things, you know. So like right now I'm in the process of constructing a historical black site, furnishing a historical black site in the middle of West Oakland, so I can bring elders into it, because like after somebody done been enslaved for 30 years, we shouldn't expect them to work because they don't necessarily have the skills to keep up, and they don't have the stamina to keep up, but nobody's going to be there to actually greet them at the door and says, you know, can I help you in a real way to come out in the community and actually enjoy the rest of your days.
I just think it's amazing that you are walking the walk and talking the talk and making sure it could have been so easy for you to get out, start a new life, and not look back. But the fact that you continue to focus on those that are still incarcerated and those that can be lifted up, that you are still offering them a hand up.
You like the thing that the tragedy when I first came home was going back to the pool hall And I was there with a lot of people who hadn't been to prison. Suppose I was tear gas beat and maced, and my dreams were still intact. And a lot of people who were on the streets were not. They kept telling me about what we used to do. And I kept thinking about, how come we having a conversation about yesterday? What about tomorrow?
Yeah, it is amazing. And this book, amazing. And I hope that everyone will take the time to see the book, read the book, and to see you this Sunday at the Last Bookstore downtown, 2 o'clock Sunday. Again, the book signing and a question and answer moderated by our own Chauncey Glover. Again, it's Sunday from 2 until 3 at the Last Bookstore in downtown LA.